It's just all about love and life and living in freedom. That's what it's all about for me now.
Welcome to the Rich Spinster podcast. This is Alexis. Happy Pride. Want to wish everybody a happy Pride Month out there, or as I like to call it, Happy Rachel Maddow Appreciation Month. I love Rachel Maddow. This is the month when straight women everywhere confess that they are gay for Rachel, and I'm here for it. For people who don't know, Pride commemorates the Stonewall riots that happened on June 28th, 1969, when the police raided the Stonewall Inn in New York City. I had the pleasure of being at the Stonewall Inn during the 50th anniversary in 2019, and it was a good time. I was there with a great group of people. We had drinks, there was a drag show, and it just felt really good to be standing in a place where history was made. So I would encourage people, if you have the opportunity to visit New York City and to go to the Stonewall Inn, you certainly should. It's a good time. I love Pride. Oh, I used to love Pride. Pride is so commercialized now. It is, I don't understand this nouveau queer culture that is commercialized by corporations now who are not altruistic in any way at their core. They don't care, but they're gonna have rainbow flags hanging from the gas stations. They don't care, but they're gonna sell you rainbow striped deodorant. They don't care. They don't care. And proof that they don't care, look at the dwindling sponsorship of major corporations when it comes to Pride this year. There used to be rainbow everything, everywhere, every commercial, and it really has been scaled back this year. But I am actually happy about that. I think that that's okay. Bring Pride back to its roots. Bring Pride back to its roots. First of all, it's always good to know how people feel about you, right? And we should remember that, especially when it comes to spending with these businesses. But bring Pride back to its roots. In my day, Pride was not co-opted by a liberal soccer mom who wanted the cultural currency that comes along with attending such events. It wasn't for the gram. Pride was about the people, the real people in the community. There were parades, but the floats were handmade and they were sponsored by a local bar named Jill's. And then there was a local coffee shop that was usually run by like a hippie couple who named their daughter Lennon. They would give out free coffee to the organizers. There were 300-pound dykes on bikes, and sometimes the bikes broke down. And do you know what they did? They threw that bike on the float behind them, and they kept the party going. Pride was a good time. Pride was a good time. In the evening, people would go to parties or to clubs. And if you went to a club, there was likely someone standing at the door. That person was beautiful. 5'11", dark skin, afro, dreadlocks, or cornrows going to the back. That person had a beautiful face, sort of androgynous. And I still to this day don't know what gender that person was, but they called themselves Panama. I don't know much about Panama, but Panama kicked ass if necessary. Pride was a party. It was black and brown. There was dancing, and it wasn't just about LGBT people, but it was about the people who loved them as well. It was about people who lived in the margins, who came together to say, we see you, we love you, we support you, we are all here together. There were families, there were writers, there were artists, there were activists, there were Quakers. There were Birkenstocks and people selling organic tomatoes. And then when you'd get the tomatoes, they would hand you a flyer about joining a local women's group. It was anti-racist. It was pro-black and brown. And it was sometimes dirty. So I think it's good that they're backing out of Pride, some of these big corporations. Now let's bring pride back to the people. Oh, and you know what was fun about the pride parades was like seeing your friend who works at the freaking insurance company, walking in the parade with her colleagues, right? Or like that kind of thing. That kind of thing was so fun back in the day. I mean, I'm sure because people are getting their first Pride memories now. And so I think that that's a fantastic thing. And Pride is really, now it's like for the youth. It's for the children. But if I am being totally honest, the reason you won't see me at Pride is because it's hot. Most Prides take place in the summer. We have gone from 65 degrees as a high to the heat of hell in just a few days with this heat wave coming. I'm not made for this. I didn't sign up for any of this. Listen, I hate everything about the summer. My seasonal depression happens in the summer. It's just kicked in. I don't like the bugs. I don't like the humidity. I don't like the heat. I don't like the thigh sweat. Oh, and then there's always that friend, usually white, who's like, let's go on a hike. It's 92 degrees. So the idea of being out there with the people during Pride, first of all, the crowds, the idea of me standing next to a bunch of sweating people who are covered in glitter is a nightmare. I don't have plans to ever attend another Pride in my life unless they turn June into January. But have a good time. If you're out there, have a good time, have a safe time, enjoy yourself, enjoy your glitter. So as I said, during the summer, that's when my seasonal depression kicks in. It's hot. The children are out of school and they're everywhere. Everywhere I'm trying to go, their people are. And frankly, all of that depresses me. So how will I handle this? I'm staying home. I also don't like hot weather holidays for the most part. Then we're going to have 4th of July with fireworks. My dogs are going to go crazy. Listen, every 4th of July is hardcore struggle around here. Much love goes out to all pet owners who struggle during 4th of July and New Year's Eve because of fireworks. And then here's the thing. I have 3 Havanese dogs, okay? My dogs are Cuba, Conga, and Shaka Khan. And yet, yes, Shaka Khan is the puppy. And who does she act like? Shaka Khan. I keep saying I should have named her something peaceful, like Zen or Buddha or Tibet. My dogs hate fireworks. Now, fortunately, I live in an area where there are not a ton of fireworks, but then there's always that one asshole a week and a half after the 4th of July who decides this is the night they want to light up the damn sky. And then I have to deal with that for a full 2.5 to 3 hours. So I am preemptively stressing about the 4th of July, and we're only in mid-June. You know what? It wasn't until I just said the words, I have 3 dogs, that it actually hit me that I'm insane for having 3 dogs. I'm insane for having these 3 dogs. You don't understand. It is a constant battle between humans and dogs. And guess what? The dogs win almost every time. My life is a series of dog feeding, dog brushing, taking dogs outside, and now I got to do all of that in the heat. But I love my dogs, I must say. I love them. They were just so loved and spoiled, but oh my God, what the hell was I thinking? And then I live in a part of New England that really wakes up during the spring and summer. I live in a part of New England where we have bears everywhere. During the summer months, they're bears, they're bobcats, they're foxes. It's freaking wild kingdom around here. So I'm taking the dogs out in the heat, and at the same time, I have to make sure that there's no bear coming up my damn driveway. Summer's got to go. How I get through the summer is that every single day I remind myself that I am just a day closer to fall. I'm a day closer to my favorite month, which is September. So yeah, I won't be attending in any summer activities outside. I will not be attending parades. I will not be attending festivals. I will not be attending cookouts. Not in the summer. And actually, I am always surprised when someone is inviting me to something that's outside in the summer. I don't know what about me tells people that that is something that I would enjoy. The last time I was invited to a cookout during the summer, the person was like, Alexis, we really want you to come to this event, and it's going to be at a park, and it's going to be all my girlfriends there, and we're going to have food and lots of alcohol. And I was just like, wait a minute, you want me to attend something in the summer at a park at that time in Florida, and alcohol is related? That's a recipe for death. And there is a part of me that actually sees people doing these activities, maybe on television or see it on social media, and it looks fun. They look like they're having a great time at that theme park. They look like they're having a great time at that water park. My brother spends hours in the summer golfing. I missed that download from the mothership that allowed me to tolerate heat. I don't have it. It's frozen cup time. One good thing about the summer, though, is that summer does remind me of frozen cups. Did y'all have frozen cups? What did they call frozen cups where you lived? I'm curious about that. We had Lily Dillies, and they were 25 cents if you wanted a big one. And I loved going to my godmother's house. I would go to my godmother's house in the summer, and across the street from her house was a woman who had a little store in her apartment. And what did they call that woman? They called her the Candy Lady. And the Candy Lady had Lily Dillies. And you would go and you would knock on her door and you would ask her for a Lily Dilly. And she would say, what kind do you want? Well, what kind do you have? We have purple, we have red, and we have pineapple. And I would order the red Lily Dilly, which is essentially super sweet Kool-Aid that was frozen. And you knew it was good when it had a thick syrup at the top. And I would get my Lily Dilly for a quarter and walk myself back over to my godmother Isabel's house and would devour that Lily Dilly. That is one of my most joyous memories from childhood summers. It's so hot. Oh, it's so hot. But y'all enjoy your summer. Make sure you wear your sunscreen. I got my first black girl sunburn this year. Actually, last month, I got my first black girl sunburn. I spent about 10 hours over the course of 2 days directly in the sun, with the sun beating down on my face. And it was cool where I was, so I didn't think anything of it, honestly. I'd gone all of these years in my life and sunscreen has never been an issue. I'm good, so I thought. I was so badly sunburned. I was reaching out to every white friend that I have saying, what do I do? What is the magic cure here? Because I was in struggle mode. My forehead was black and peeling. I mean, it's a lot better now, and maybe you can't tell if you look, or you really have to look at it. And maybe you can't tell because I'm still really tan and the peeling has stopped, but it was something to deal with, and it was so sensitive, and I was just like, what is going on here? But I will tell you, I will never be out in the sun again without sunscreen. Not me, not ever again. Which reminds me, I still need to run to the store to get some sunscreen. But you know where I won't be running? Target. I have been in a long-term relationship, a very long-term relationship with Target. I was at Target 2 or 3 times a week, spending hundreds of dollars a week on nothing. I used it as a stress reliever. I would go into Target, I would take my red cart and I would go aisle by aisle, picking up a bunch of stuff that I don't really need. Oh, look at this t-shirt. This is cute. Oh, this is a new cereal. I'm going to try it. Let me grab another bottle of lotion and add it to the other 20 bottles that are under my counter in the bathroom right now. That was my Target life. And I loved it. I thought I knew what we meant to each other. I thought that Target loved me just like I loved Target, and I was hoodwinked, bamboozled, led astray, run amok. I loved the designer collections. I loved the Black History Month t-shirts. I loved the Pride stuff. I loved Target. I was loyal. I never stepped out. I never even considered another place to go. And then Target told me to kiss its ass. That's what happened when Target rolled back its DEI practices. Target essentially was telling me to kiss its ass. And listen, let me tell you, when a corporation or person tells you to kiss their ass, you have two choices. You can either peace out or pucker. I peaced out. I peaced out, and I'm never going back. I don't care how much they beg. I don't care how many Diane von Furstenberg or Philip Lim or Missoni collaborations they drop. I don't care if they come out with a Stanley Cup that is trimmed with real 24 karat gold and it is only sold exclusively at Target for $25. I don't want it. Listen, I don't care if during Pride Month we discover that the end of the rainbow is actually on aisle A4 at Target, and on that aisle is a actual pot of gold. I'm not going. If the CEO apologizes, I'm not going back. If they give great opportunities to Black entrepreneurs and entrepreneurs of color, I'm not going back. If they decided as an organization to celebrate my birthday in September by decorating all of their stores my favorite color, which is green, and the entire place ended up looking like Emerald City, I'm not going back. Listen, you have one time to tell me or act like you don't want me, and I'm stank walking out the door, hip swaying, hair flipping, walking out the door, and I'm not looking behind me. That's what Target did with that rollback. Target hurt my feelings. Now, have I saved the money that I was spending at Target every week? No. I'm just spending it somewhere else. But see, that's a reminder. There are always options. Watch how you treat people. And I expected certain companies to roll back their DEI efforts, but not Target. I expected more from you, Target. With all the fake appeal to people of color and to young people during Black History Month, you would think that they had listened to some DMX, because DMX said, essentially, if it's fuck me, then you know it's fuck you. And here's the thing, when you think about a relationship ending, eventually you get to the place that you don't even think about it again. It didn't take me long. It took me about a week, honestly, about a week. And it wasn't a struggle to not go to Target. It was more of I'm passing it by Target and I'm not going in. Oh my goodness, it's been 3 days and I haven't been to Target. But after that first week, I was pretty much done. I can now pass by Target, and every time I pass by, I hear Beyonce, "You must not know about me. I can have another one of you in a minute." I spent my life in Target. I purchased all kinds of things that I know I didn't need. And so maybe that's just also a lesson for me as well, to really be more conscious about where I spend my money. Where you spend your money actually matters. An example of that is yesterday morning, I went out to breakfast, and I went out to breakfast to this great local place, and it felt good spending my money where I live. And I saw all of the people come in and out of there, and they got their breakfast sandwiches or their bagels and coffee, and they had a choice. They could have gone to McDonald's, they could have gone to any chain restaurant, but they chose to spend their money locally. And that sort of thing matters to me, especially with the economy the way it is and with people struggling. I know that spending my, $20 at a local place really makes more of a difference there than it does at the local McDonald's. I'm conscious of that. You know what I also love about little local places? It's usually the music. The music appeals to me. I have grown up in the time of hip hop, but as I've said many times before to people, I love all kinds of music, and I'm really a yacht rock girl. Let me tell you, when I left When I left that little local breakfast spot and I put on the Yacht Rock radio, do you know what was playing? Toto's Rosanna. I haven't heard that song in a while, but listen, Toto's Rosanna is hard. It is hard. I was listening to it and I was getting my whole life not caring who was looking at me in traffic or what they were thinking. And I was driving in my Subaru. Yes, I drive a Subaru. Shout out to Subaru, the queerest auto company in America. So Rosanna just felt so damn good to me. It felt so good. I was singing that song. I was snapping my fingers. I will enjoy some good yacht rock this summer. Some cool alcoholic beverages. Need to figure out something to make. I love yacht rock. I do. I am a Michael McDonald, Christopher Cross, Toto loving girl. That's who I am. Listen, if you've never listened to that yacht rock station on Sirius Radio, go ahead and put that on and let Ambrosia take you to like Key West. I would love to be in Key West, you know, walking around Key West in my flip-flops, looking at all the chickens that are running around the streets of Key West, stopping at a local place, having an ice cold beer or margarita. But I'd love to go back to Key West again. And you know, the real reason I want to go back to Key West is that Judy Blume. I love Judy Blume. Judy Blume owns a bookstore in Key West called Books and Books at the Studio in Key West. Listen, I was a Beverly Cleary Judy Blume addict as a child. And I still have so much reverence for both of those. Beverly Cleary passed away a few years back. And when I tell you I was devastated, I was devastated because Ramona Quimby was my entire life. But I digress. Listen, this is about Judy Blume. I love Judy Blume. I read all of Judy Blume's books as a child, and in recent years, I ordered all of her books. So I have copies of them that I want to take the time to go back through and reread because they brought me such incredible joy. Those books were everything to me. They taught me about life. They taught me about friendships and families and my body and sex and all of those things. It is so important for young people, especially, to have writers like Judy Blume, like Beverly Cleary, right? So when I learned of Judy Blume's bookstore in Key West, I was like, I gotta go there. And I've mentioned it to friends. Like I actually do want to take a trip to that bookstore. But I looked online and I saw that they offer signed copies of Judy's books, of certain books of Judy's. And I was like, well, I gotta get one. Tell me you remember Super Fudge, Tales of a Fourth Grade Nothing, Forever, Hello God, It's Me, Margaret, and Blubber. So I ordered a couple of books and one of them came signed, and it is one of my most prized possessions. May the rest of Judy's life be the best of Judy's life. Judy Blume deserves everything. Sometimes I will hear someone say something and I will look at them and just shake my head and I will be thinking, it is clear to me that you have never read Beverly Cleary or Judy Blume. Who raised you? One school year, as the school year was ending, we were given a book list. And actually we were given this for years. And you would read all of the books on the list. And depending on how many books that you read, you would get certain prizes. If you read, I forget the number, then you would get a pizza party. And I will never forget going back to school after the summer and I had read all the books on the list and I was going to the pizza party and I remember passing by kids who were sitting in the classroom because they hadn't read all the books on the list. And I sat down waiting on my Domino's pizza. And it was in that moment when that pizza came in and it was put before me that I knew that I was, without a doubt, the shit. That's what books mean to kids who are readers. It gives us confidence. I owe some of that confidence that I had to Judy Blume. There are very few people that I can tell you I would be starstruck about meeting and starstruck about talking to. Judy Blume. Judy Blume is one of those people I want to meet. I don't even need to meet Judy. I just want to talk to Judy. I want to have a conversation with Judy Blume. That's just something that just would mean the world to me. I'm not a religious person, but I'm going to put that on my, what do? Put it on your prayer list or something. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put it on my prayer list of things to pray for. And you know how that prayer is going to start? Are you there, God? It's me, Alexis. Thanks so much for joining the Rich Spinster podcast. Take care of yourselves, and remember, whatever you go through, at the end of it, make sure that you have a story to tell and bourbon in hand. Until next time, stay cool.